When do you have dinner?
I have dinner at 9.
We gonna learn about 4 fundamentals to master English language. Okay. So the first fundamental is to read. Okay, or we can say reading. Okay, you will note it on your notebook. Okay, reading is the first fundament to be proficient in any language. Okay, yes, reading. And then we have second fundamental as writing. WRITING, writing. And the third fundamental is listening. LISTENING, listening. Got it? Okay. The fourth fundamental is when we have completed these 3 fundamentals, then we have to use the fourth fundamental, that is speaking. Yes, because it doesn't matter which language we learn, if we don't read, if we don't write, if we don't listen, and then the most important thing, if we don't speak, we cannot learn English speaking. Okay, it's compulsory to speak what you have learned in English so far, because in the initial stage you will make several mistakes. You will feel nervous or fearful. It happens while we learn a different kind of skill or new thing. Okay, it's our nature to be fearful in the initial stage. But to become proficient or to become expert in English speaking or learning any language, we have to master these 4 fundamentals. Child learns very fast, okay, because he is not fearful to learn, to make mistakes, to learn different kinds of words. He copies the words of his or our seniors and he tries to use those words or sentences in the same manner. Okay, in the initial stage he fumbles, makes so many mistakes, but he does not judge himself. Okay, over a period of time he becomes good at it, learning any language. Okay, that is why a child can learn faster than an adult. Why? Because an adult person judges himself or herself very often, but he doesn't know that making mistakes are actually helping him to become proficient at any skill or in learning English speaking skill. TWISTER, tongue twister. It means we have to train our tongue, okay, for different kinds of unfamiliar words so that we become proficient or good at speaking as well. If you don't train your tongue, you will not be proficient at speaking. She sells seashells at the seashore. If she sells seashells at the seashore, then I am sure that she sells seashells. So this is called a tongue twister.
She sells seashells at the seashore. If she sells seashells at the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashells.
The animals that live in water, like snails. Okay, and they have the shell on their body, outer cover, to protect them against enemies. Okay, then they die. There are on the banks of the sea lots of seashells available there, and the people shine them, polish them, and then they sell those seashells in the market and earn money. And you will now listen. Okay, listen to me what I say, how I say, and then you will observe, you will copy and imitate, and then try to communicate in your own way. Okay, so one day there was a lark. Lark means a bird that has a melodious voice. That bird was living inside the jungle. One day a farmer passed by. The lark stopped him and asked, Mister, where are you going and what do you have inside this box? The farmer replied, I have worms inside the box and I'm going to the market to sell these worms to get feathers. And the lock said to the farmer, don't you see my body? I have lots of feathers on my body. Why don't you give me the worms so that I don't have to work hard to fly to catch the worms? Why don't you give me the worms? I will give you the feathers in return so that I may not have to work hard for the food. And the farmer agreed on the agreement. He said that it's a good deal, it will save me a lot of time. And the farmer gave the lock the worms and plucked few of the feathers from its body. Okay, this process continued for a long time, but one day came when the lock had no feathers on its body and it stopped singing melodious songs. It started looking ugly, and guess what? It died. It died. The log died. What is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is that the log wanted to have a shortcut to eat food without working hard. And I'm telling you, if you want to become proficient in English speaking, don't try to have shortcuts because the log have chosen the easier way. And sometimes the easier way becomes tougher way. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I offer namaz in the masjid. When I come back to my home, I recite the Holy Quran for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And after reciting the Holy Quran, I sit and start sharpening my axe. Means getting knowledge. I start reading books and videos of successful people to improve my personal growth. Okay, and then I have my breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning. I eat two chapatis in my breakfast, and after that I prepare myself for school. Exactly at 9 o'clock I leave my home to go to school, and after that I meet my friends in my school. So after we start having the prayers, then our first class starts at 11 o'clock in the morning. Then we start reading, writing, speaking and listening in our classroom up to 1 o'clock, and then we have a break. I have my lunch at 1 o'clock. And after that, we have a break of 1 hour and we play for 10 to 15 minutes in that break. And then again, we come in our classroom and again we start reading, listening, writing and speaking up to 4 o'clock. Then I leave my school and I march towards my home. I put off my clothes and then again, if I have leisure time, I start playing badminton, cricket, or I play other sport at my home so that I am physically and mentally stable. After that, I drink the tea at 5 o'clock in the late afternoon. Okay? Then again, I pray namaz. Okay? And I have my dinner at 9 o'clock. After my dinner, I once again start recapping my day, what I have done during the day. And at 10 o'clock at night, I go to sleep. Why do you want to become a doctor? Have you ever given a thought to this aim? Why do you want to become a doctor? I know who I want to become or who I am right now. I know where I have to go, and for achieving my dream and goal, what I have to do, how many working hours or efforts I have to put in to become successful. Do you know why do you want to become a doctor? With respect and regard to this great, wonderful profession, okay, becoming a doctor, okay, so don't you think that the other people who are not doctors or engineers, they serve the society or people, don't you think? So why do you want to become a doctor if you want to serve the people? You have the interest in becoming a software engineer. You are passionate about becoming a software engineer. For an example, I like to be in front of the people. I like to speak. I love to be a public speaker. That's my expertise or proficiency, my passion. And with my passion, I'm serving the society of people. But you must know, why do you want to become an IS or KS officer? Why do you want to become a professional cricketer or a footballer or a badminton player? You must know the reason. Because if you don't have the clarity right now, when you achieve your dream, maybe you may not be satisfied. I'm giving an example, okay? Don't take me wrong. For an example, if I want to become a footballer, I have to question myself, why do I want to become a professional cricketer or a footballer? What will I get? What I have to do? Why do I want to become this person or that person? If I become that person and I'm not feeling well and I'm not satisfied or contented or I'm not happy in my profession, so what is the reason or the fun of becoming this and that person? So you must figure it out. It's not easy. It took me a long time to figure out what actually I want to become, which things make me happy and satisfied. Okay? So you must have a clear vision. And when you have a clear vision, then you have to focus. You have to put efforts. How many of the people outside in the markets in the world want to become successful? Almost everybody. But how many of them or you or me are willing to put the efforts or time or energy or making sacrifices, having the consistency, dedication to become successful? Almost 0% people want to put the effort, energy and dedication, sacrifice in becoming what they want to become. That's why we have few percentage of people successful in any endeavor in the world. Okay, what's the time?
This is Brahmi. My father is in town. I studied in London. My father is a driver. I want to become a doctor. I like cricket.
Thank you. Sit down, have a seat. In my range. And don't ask me the questions that are out of syllabus. Because I won't be able to give you the answers if you ask me about physics or chemistry or science. Do you have any questions? So you always must ask genuine questions, not the questions in the sake of wasting the time or making the time to pass.